Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? It's round one, baby. I'm John Benson.
I'm Pat Maroney. Welcome to the Blitz. We're not talking about practice, man. No. We're talking about games. And you play to win the game. That's what every Southwest Georgia football team was trying to do tonight.
That's right. And Colquitt County is the #1 team in the state. And if you want to crown them, crown them. But you got to prove it on the field. So here we go. We start out tonight out in Moultrie with the 6A. Captains making their way to the field. Saeem King in the back there. Rockdale with the ball first on a 3rd down. Zori Manifield passes complete, but it's short of the 1st down, so that's a 3 and out for them. Packers offense takes the field. King gets the handoff from Chase Paris, sheds off the tackle from the linebacker, and it's off for the races. King all the way for the touchdown. 7-0. Colquitt has the early lead. Then they would force another 3 and out, and it's King again, this time off the toss, weaving his way through traffic, 25 yards all the way to the end zone. Packers are up quickly 14-0. Rockdale facing another 3rd down, and Minifield drops back, but the defense, they're just there, bringing the heat for the sack, and we're forced to turn it over. Then comes Parrish and company, and it's a reverse. Coach Probst pulling out of all of the tricks tonight. That's Pollard who gets the 1st down, and much more. A couple of plays later, Parrish right in the end zone there, red zone, through Pollard for the inside slant for the touchdown. 21-0, Colquitt, and they would cruise past round one over Rockdale, 62-12. Heading down to Valdosta, who edged Lee County last week for home field advantage, and they took on Newton High School. Wildcats leading 7-0 in the first. Newton punting, but Trey Barrett drops it, and that's a recovery there. And then Valdosta's defense, they would force the turnover as well from the punt return. Defensive battle in the 2nd quarter until Valdosta is still in the lead. Johnson's pass is picked off. Todd Bradley for the return for an apparent touchdown, but a penalty keeps Valdosta off the scoreboard. Later in the 2nd, Seth Sherman throws a pass that's picked off. DeAndre Huff, who takes it in for the score, tied 7-all. Cole Massey-Ill, in for quarterback for the Wildcats, finds Greg Berry, gets the downfield there all the way to the 16-yard line to get into the red zone, and then Brennan Goldson misses the field goal, and the score still stays 7-all. Time running out, first half. Johnson puts up a pass that somehow Jeremiah Holloman brings in for the touchdown. Newton leads 14-7, and this one's still in the 4th right now. Valdosta down by 20, 27-7.
Worth County had a shot at a 4A1 region championship last Friday night, but they lost to Cairo at home. But that's not the biggest game of their year. Tonight, they hosted Baldwin in round 1 of the state playoffs. Jason Tone and the Rams were all fired up about playing in front of a packed house at Milt Miller Field in Sylvester. Scoreless in the 2nd quarter. Baldwin with a rare pass downfield complete to Brandon Goodman to the Rams, 25. Not a lot of yards through the air here. Next play, Felix Jones calls his own number, breaks it outside. He'll take it all the way into the end zone. 7-0. Baldwin goes on top. Now, look at those cheerleaders. Worth County trying to get the offense going. Brandon Gibson finds a little room for a 1st down across the Baldwin 30-yard line. But on 4th and 1, the Braves defense comes up with a stop as they did all night. That was the 2nd 4th down stand for Baldwin in the first half. They were up 7-0, and they go on to beat Worth County 17-7. Next, we head down to syrup maker country. The Cairo syrup makers hosting Veterans High. Doesn't start off all that great for Cairo tonight. Quarterback Chad Marshall hesitates, decides to run for it, but loses the football, recovered by Javon Leary. Later on, Cairo goes to Aldair Cortez, and he kicks a field goal that puts them on the scoreboard. Later on, Veterans QB Logan Bird passes to Amarian Brown. He scoots his way inside the 30, and big play here. Bird tries to pass the ball, but it's intercepted by Stacy Masson. And watch this, he turns into an offensive player real quick. He runs it up the field, good for a touchdown. That puts them up 10-0. Don't go anywhere. These teams are who we thought they were. We're not letting anybody off the hook. More scores and highlights are coming up next.
Welcome back. The Fitzgerald Purple Hurricanes entered tonight's round 1 game as Region 1 AA champs, earning them the #1 seed. But that isn't even the most impressive stat from last week. It's how they racked up 340 yards on the ground with 6 touchdowns to close out the regular season against Seminole County. So tonight, head coach Jason Strickland's crew will look for their workhorses in the backfield to keep their postseason dream alive. So Purple Hurricanes hosting Bryan County, the number 4 seed out of Region 2. And we'll start with Tylen Golden here on offense with the handoff, goes for the first down into the Redskins' 10-yard line to get into first and goal. A couple of plays later, Trey Graham runs to the left side, goes in for the touchdown. Extra point, however, would be no good, but Fitzgerald does have the lead 6-0. Gerald Morgan back to pass, hits Fletcher for what looks like could have been a big play, but the ball gets stripped out there right inside the 5-yard line, and that is a turnover. We're going the other way. The Jeremy McCallan passing out of his own end zone, going deep to Dixon for the big play, but the drive would stall. Morgan on the keeper, breaks some tackles, goes down inside the 5-yard line, which sets up the first and goal. Next play, Morgan keeps it and goes almost untouched for 6. 13-0, Fitzgerald would lead. Before your final, they would hold on going to round 2, 53-28. Staying in the same region, just on the other side of the bracket, Brooks County hosting Bacon County. We picked this up in the first quarter. Brooks County with a 7-0 lead. Bacon County with the ball, and then Green gets the handoff and 28-yard line there. Same drive, 3rd and 2. Green fakes the handoff and shows a little footwork before finally being taken outside of bounds there. Very next play, Green does it again, but this time takes it to the end zone, and he scores after the field goal. We're tied 7-all. A very interesting play here. The quarter after Brooks County, the punt there, Raiders with the ball on the 9-yard line. Green throws a long pass there to Folson, who would catch it for the touchdown. 91 yards on that play there. Brooks County would hold on and win it over Bacon County 24-17.
Coffee moved down to 5A this year, and it's been a great thing for Robbie Pruitt's program. They went 9-1 on the season, only losing to their rivals at Ware County, and tonight they hosted a home playoff game. Let's pick it up in the second half. Coffee is already up 7-0. Good crowd on hand in Douglas, as there usually is. Mundy's Mill here going for it on 4th and 3. Gets the yardage for a first down with a pass to Cornell Washington, but the ball is stripped. It's on the floor, and the Trojans, they get down there and pick it up. Coffee on 3rd and 8. Gets a few yards here, but not enough to move the chains, so they do the smart thing. They decide to kick the football. Now Rodriguez skates back to pass. Pump fakes. Goes deep. Hits Armani Donaldson for a Mundy's Mill touchdown. Great play there. Extra point is no good. Ensuing kickoff. Anthony Fusel on the return makes some nice moves. Gets all the way past the 50-yard line into Tiger territory before he is eventually dragged down. And then LaCarvia Sears on a handoff. He's going to run for a first down inside the 10-yard line. Follows a couple blockers. Nice running play there. A couple plays later, Sears on the handoff again. Powers in for a TD, 14-6 Coffee. They go on to win by that very score. They'll be playing again next week. Now it's time for our Player of the Week. Tift County beat Lowndes last Friday to get into the playoffs, and they did it on the backs of quarterback Tajia Chambers and running back Barry Bennett. Chambers did it with his arms and his legs. Threw for 208 yards and 4 touchdowns and added 153 rushing yards and a touchdown to his totals as well. And Bennett, just a junior, he toted the rock 11 times for 134 yards, including 80-yard run to get the Blue Devils in scoring position. So congrats to Chambers and Bennett for being our Players of the Week. Now let's check out Mike Morrison with some weather.
Absolutely. You know what? Tonight, cool temperatures for high school football. Tomorrow, cool temperatures for some college ball. And if you're heading to Athens for the Georgia game, bring a jacket. It's going to be kind of chilly under the lights with temperatures into the upper 30s. And guess what? Albany State is in Montgomery, Alabama. A little bit warmer, but nonetheless fairly chilly for that game as well. It kicks off at 8 o'clock on Saturday. Keep it here. We've got much more score and highlights coming back.
Welcome back. Now, we've been talking about all these home games been going on, but some of us, or some of the teams here, are road warriors for the evening, and like you might have saw on the scoreboard, Lee County headed up to Lovejoy and came away with a huge win on the road. I believe it was 44-6, so big win for the Trojans.
Big win for Dean Fabricio's
Oh,
program.
absolutely.
Huge. But a couple of our schools right here weren't so fortunate. Tift County lost a close one. So did Westover. So keep an eye on our scoreboards because there's lots of teams that are playing it all over Georgia that we couldn't get to, and we have all those scores for you.
That's right. But we'll go back to some highlights with Cook County and the Hornets and John Lindsay to run the football program, and it looks like he's a pretty good decision.
That's right. They went undefeated in their region, and they haven't lost a game since September 5th.
Yeah, that's a pretty good run, I'd say. Cheerleaders are ready, fans are ready, but most importantly, the Cook Hornets are ready. Hornets on offense. Tavion Allen with the ball finds daylight towards the sidelines for the first down, moving the chains. A few plays later, Cook in the red zone. Jay Smith barrels his way in for the touchdown. Cook is on top. And then back on offense, check this out. Smith gets the ball, takes a hard hit there right at the end as he's going down. Feels like there's a little controversy there. I'm not 100% sure what he's upset about, but nonetheless, the drive would stall. So here come the Chargers. Derek Evans drops back to pass, but is flushed out of the pocket. He takes off using his speed for the first down, keeping the drive alive. Same drive, Evans looking deep, rolls, throws up a prayer. I'm not sure exactly what he was thinking. Maybe time was just running out, but nonetheless, that's a Charger touchdown. And Cook County, though, however, in the end, would come away with a win, 42-14. Now, both of us have been to Mint Miller Stadium, and we've been shocked by that Worth County cannon.
It's crazy. There's nothing you can do to prepare for a boom like that.
No.
So we wanted our Darton College correspondents to experience the thrill.
We're here tonight in Sylvester, Georgia for the playoff game. The Worth County Rams are going up against the Baldwin Braves. Here's some sights and sounds from tonight's game.
Here come your Rams.
Back to you, Pat and John.
Now out to Sherwood Christian. They hosted Creekside in round one of the GICAA playoffs, and the offense was motoring from the very first drive. They handed it to Chaznick Griffin. Here he slices and dices his way to a first down. Then on a play-action pass, Dylan Evans finds a wide-open Kenny Brown. He's close to the goal line. A penalty would push them back a bit, but it wouldn't matter. Evans, here he is, read option play. He decides to keep it, shakes off a Creekside tackler, finds a home in the end zone. 6-0 Sherwood. And then Creekside's Cameron Green is back to throw. Eagles linebacker Steven Toski had a beat on it, but he also had Butterfingers. Missed opportunity there. Sherwood gets the ball back, though, and they give it to Demetrius Reed. And there he goes. He has an appointment with the end zone all the way to the house. Eagles go up 13-zip. This game was close late. Sherwood would score a touchdown with just a few seconds to go to win 26-20. They're playing for the state championship next week. Now it's time for our play of the week. We saw this one earlier. The veterans quarterback tries to throw a screen pass, bounces off some pads into the waiting hands of K-Row defensive back Stacy Maston, and then he turns into a running back himself. He takes it all the way to the end zone, showing off that phenomenal athleticism. Now, I'm a little biased, Arizona Cardinal fan here, but that reminds me of Patrick Peterson. It put the Syrup Makers up 10-0, so congrats to Stacy Maston for making our play of the week.
Now we also have another score update for you. Valdosta lost in Bazemore Hyder Stadium to Newton 27-14. So their season has ended. Wildcats are done for the year, but Newton will move on to round two. But saddle up, partners. We've got one more segment to go and more highlights to show you, and the fans were out for round one. Welcome back. Since taking over at Tift County High School, John Reed has made the Blue Devils better every season since he started.
Yeah, he has. Even though they lost tonight in the first round of the playoffs, obviously a tough loss for the Blue Devils, but they got over the hump. They made it to the 6A playoffs for the first time since 2008. So let's get to know Coach Reed a little bit better. How did you kind of get your start in coaching?
Well, I graduated from Ball State University, and it's kind of known as a great teacher's college, and especially physical education. And I talked to a guidance counselor, and I said, you know, what should I study in college? And she said, well, you like sports and you're good at it. Why don't you go to Ball State and be a PE teacher? I said, all right. And then I graduated from college, and there was a football coaching job open, and my dad wasn't a coach, or I didn't have any real mentor or stuff. I just started coaching football, and I've always been a hard worker and really try to be a winner, and so it's just evolved from there.
Do you have a greatest influence on your coaching career? Who's been a mentor for you?
My high school baseball and football coach was the same guy, head coach. His name was Ron Stansky, and he was very good, and he was very organized, and I just thought the world of him, man. He had all kind of stuff to teach us, and it was the first coach I'd ever had.
What do you kind of like about coaching so much? Obviously Friday nights are exciting, but particularly having an effect on young people. What do you like so much about that part of it?
Well, I think that's key, and I think football is so important right now in this country. So many life lessons are learned every day. There's so many things. You're on time, you're disciplined, you learn to interact with people, and sacrifice. There's just so many things that this sport brings to a young man, and I'm just proud to be a part of it.
Now, coaching in 6A1 obviously was some of the most storied programs around the state. What's so special about that and being in such a competitive environment?
Well, you got pillars in this program that have just been so great over the years. To try to build a program to challenge those programs is such a challenge every day, and that's really the reason why I took the job. I could have stayed pretty comfortable at East Paulding and so forth, and people said, "Are you crazy?" And all coaches are little, but I thought we could do it, and it's been a challenge, and it's with excitement, and it's getting the whole community behind you. This is our kids; these are Tift County kids. We represent Tift County every Friday night.
Pretty crazy to see a coach from Indiana, Ball State University, ends up in South Georgia.
Yeah, it's definitely a track there, but South Georgia football, you can't, there isn't any place better.
Oh, he's come to the right place.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to coach football at the high school level, this is definitely the place to be, right?
Oh, absolutely, and it's obvious he's done a great job. Tift County, not a ton of history there. They're competing with the big boys.
Yeah, they are.
Last week, so.
Yeah, that was a huge win for them. Unfortunately, they couldn't keep going in the postseason, but regardless, big win, great season, and he's on the right track to definitely have success there.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to talk some more GISA. We're going to the GISA, Deerfield Windsor thought they would be on the road this week.
But a Gatewood upset last week means they were at home. Yeah. They'll take it. Let's pick it up here in the second quarter. Knights already up 28-0, and they're threatening again. Tyler Lowe drops back, lofts a pretty one up to fellow junior Nick Wendland. He's eventually dragged down inside the 5, but then Deerfield coughs it up. Chris Boswell tries to make some guys miss, but Tonquavius Horton strips it and falls on it. It's Gatewood football, but down 28, they didn't take any shots down the field. Here's Austin Kane tracking down the ball carrier. It was an interesting strategy. It did not work out for them. A bunch of players swarm here, and Ryan Toole makes the tackle and celebrates a little bit, and then Deerfield, they kept the foot on the gas pedal, tried to add some more points here. Lowe finds Austin Falla, who grabs it at its highest point like he learned in Pop Warner, and then Lowe rolls out and hits Wendland, and he gets in for 6 more. Deerfield up 35-0 at the half.
Well, we'll stay in the GISA, but we'll go back to Valdosta, where Valwood is hosting John Millage here. First quarter, Valwood's first possession, Parker Bonner weaves his way down the field to get into Valwood scoring position before finally being brought down by that defense. And he's still going on his feet, refusing to go down for that matter. Bonner then hands it off to Zane Edmondson, and he gets into the end zone. Valwood goes up 7-0. Then the Trojans use their big back, Cody Miller, to get into the deep Valwood territory there before finally being brought down. And then later, Cody Miller takes it in from 2 yards out to tie the game up 7-all. Valwood's Parker Bonner again, this shows his moves off, gets the ball all the way to the end zone, and that puts them back up 14-7. But Valwood, I'm not sure exactly what happened. They get the upset at home, losing by 1 point, 34-35. Let's take a look at that fan of the week or fans of the week. We go back down to Valwood in the student section. And I'm not sure if they're jumping up and down to make noise or just trying to stay warm, or both for that
Probably
matter.
both,
Yeah,
yeah.
probably just trying to do both there. But bad news for Valwood. The students there, they would actually fall to John Millage and not go to round 2. They would lose by 1 point, 35-34. But on the plus side, for the student section, they made our fan of the week. So congratulations to Valwood in the student section for going out with a bang.
We asked to see your photos in school spirit at tonight's game under the lights. Here's a great picture from Worth County Schools in Sylvester where the Rams took on the Baldwin Braves. Tough loss for them, but very good picture-taking skills in Sylvester. Brian Perkins grabbed a great shot of the first touchdown for Baldwin. Thank you to Brian. And then thank you for Tupper17 for a photo of kickoff here at Lee County. Trojans took on Lovejoy. Big win for the Trojans. And Felicia Richardson sends us a great photo from Moultrie. Colquitt County obviously rolled tonight. And lastly, let's go back to Lee County. The high school band kept us up to date with the freezing temperatures in Lovejoy tonight under the lights. Send us your photos each week. There's only one more week, so get your photos in next week. Tag us on Facebook. Tweet us at WFXL with the hashtag live on Fox 31. It's another week of football, and that means another week of our Pro You Pick'em Challenge. Don't forget to go to our website and get signed up. Just head to WFXL.com, and at the top of the page, click on the You Pick'em tab, create a profile, and that's it. You're in. You can win prizes each week. The prizes get better and better. You compete against myself and others like John Benson. If it's anything like fantasy, I'm going to beat John Benson. So head to WFXL.com and get started today. Let's go back out to Mike for one more look at this very cold weather.
Absolutely. You know what? It is November. We expect cold temperatures, but it always seems to catch people by surprise. We're just not acclimated to it quite yet, and neither are our pets. Make sure you're bringing in those pets tonight through the overnight tonight. Through this weekend, we do see a bit of a warm-up. Tonight will be cold, tomorrow into the 60s, and then it looks like to about 70 degrees by Sunday with a slight chance for some rain. Better chance Sunday night right through the next 7 days. We see that warm-up that takes us to about 70 by Sunday. Then another front pushes through, drops some rain in southwest Georgia Sunday night and Monday, and also drops our temperatures quite a bit. In fact, look at that as we go into next week. A high of 49 on Tuesday, a low of 24 on Wednesday. So we have a short warm-up and then another pretty major cool down as we go towards the middle portion of next week.
I'm looking at next Friday, and I don't see it in the 40s. Well, it could be at night, but hopefully it's a little warmer than it was today.
Yeah, I think it will be a bit warmer because we'll have come out of that next cool down, and it's still nice football weather.
Yeah, definitely.
And have it cool.
Way to close out the Blitz there, too.
All right, we'll be back next week for the Swan Song for John and I, and Mike will be here, of course, so we'll see you then. Have a great night.